Bismarck, the true story of a giant. Prologue: The birth of a steel giant. When Germany announced the construction of a new generation of battleships in the late 1930s, the world took notice. And when the Bismarck was launched in 1940, it became clear. A real predator had returned to the oceans. This was a ship that was to become a symbol of Germany's new power. Huge, extremely armored, almost 51,000 tons of displacement, over 250 meters long, 380-millimeter guns capable of tearing a cruiser in half with a single hit. Its design made it almost unsinkable for its time. A multi-layered armor belt, sealed compartments, an excellent radar and command center. The Allies understood that if this ship entered the Atlantic, it could paralyze the British economy by destroying the trade convoys that Britain could not live without. Chapter 1: Operation Rheinübung, the Predator Goes to Sea. In May 1941, the German command decided Bismarck should break into the Atlantic. Together with the heavy cruiser Prinz Eugen, she was to attack shipping, destroying British supplies. The battleship was commanded by Adolf Günther Lutyens, an experienced officer known for his discipline and cold character. On the night of May 18th to 19th, Bismarck quietly emerged from a Norwegian fjord. The sea was cold, the air was heavy. The German crews believed in their machine. In London, the news sounded like a wake-up call. Britain knew that if the Bismarck reached the Atlantic, the consequences would be catastrophic. This was not just a battleship. This was a symbol of the threat to their survival. The pursuit began. Chapter 2: A Collision of Giants, the Battle of the Denmark Channel. At dawn on May 24, 1941, British ships, the battle cruiser HMS Hood and the new battleship HMS Prince of Wales, intercepted the Bismarck. It was the encounter that all of Europe had been waiting for. Hood was the pride of the British fleet. Fast, beautiful, legendary. Bismarck was a new giant, built to destroy rivals. At 5:52, Hood opened fire. The guns roared, but their shots were inaccurate. Bismarck began to respond slowly but with astonishing accuracy. At 6, a German shell hit Hood. A few seconds later, a second hit, which proved fatal. The cruiser was torn in half. She sank in 3 minutes. Of the crew of more than 1,400, only 3 survived. It was a shock to Britain. The palace, Parliament, the press, everyone understood. Now the Bismarck must be destroyed at any cost. Chapter 3: The Global Hunt. After the death of Hood, the British fleet mobilized everything it could. The following went in pursuit: aircraft carriers, battleships, cruisers, destroyer, land-based aviation. It was the largest naval pursuit in history. The Bismarck was damaged in battle and had lost some of its fuel. It was heading for occupied France, where it was to become inaccessible to the British. The British ships were losing contact. Fog, storms, and the vastness of the Atlantic were all in the Germans' favor, but chance and courage decided the outcome. Chapter 4: The Attack That Changed Everything. On May 26th, the old British aircraft carrier HMS Ark Royal launched Swordfish torpedo bombers, canvas-winged biplanes from a bygone era. No one believed they could penetrate the defenses of a modern battleship. And yet, one torpedo hit the most vulnerable spot, the stern. It jammed the Bismarck's rudder. The giant lost control. It could only move in circles. The monster ship was targeted. Chapter 5: The Last Battle. At dawn on May 27, 1941, the British battleships King George V and Rodney opened fire. The Bismarck fought to the last. Her guns fired as long as they could. Her crew lay dying on the bridges, burned, but not retreating. British shells ripped out pieces of armor. Turrets exploded. Decks turned to burning iron. Within an hour, the battle was over. The German crew felt the end was imminent. The commander gave the order to scuttle the ship so that the enemy would not capture it. At 10:40 a.m., the Bismarck sank. Of the more than 2,200 sailors, 114 survived. Chapter 6. Afternoon, a legend that doesn't solve war. During the Third Reich, the Bismarck was to become a symbol of invincibility. As a result, it became a symbol of how dangerous it is to underestimate the enemy and overestimate one's own capabilities. The ship was technically brilliant. The tactical decisions were disastrous. Its journey lasted less than 9 days. But its story became one of the most famous in all of naval history. The Bismarck remained at the bottom of the Atlantic, silent, cold, broken. The sea took it away as it takes everything, for the sea does not forgive legends. It knows no pity. It washes away pride and leaves only history.